Hello, I'm Ira Thor, Senior Director of University Communications at New Jersey City University and a member of the CoSIDA Academic All-America Committee. And today I'm joined by Yorai Shaoul, a senior jumper from Renana, Israel, in the MIT Engineers Track and Field Program. He's your 2021 CoSIDA NCAA Division III Men's Track and Field and Cross Country Academic All-America Team Member of the Year. Yorai is a two-time NCAA Triple Jump National Champion, and he graduated with a 4.9 GPA on the challenging MIT 5.0 grading scale with a major in electrical engineering and computer science, and he's the fourth MIT men's track athlete ever to be voted the Academic All-America of the Year. Yorai, congratulations on this prestigious honor. And considering the tens of thousands of track and field student athletes who compete annually in Division III, what was your reaction when you learned that you were the winner of the Academic All-America of the Year award?
First of all, thank you for this very generous introduction. I am extremely honored and grateful to be here tonight, or today for you. It was just crazy. I think I didn't really internalize that kind of award in the magnitude ever, really. I haven't really gotten to an understanding even now. I'm just very excited. I'm very happy for the team, and I think we'll talk about it more now, but it says a lot about what we do, I think. And it's not only me, it's us, I would say.
That's very true with the institution you're at. And before we talk about your time at MIT, to make this honor even more notable, your teammate Katie Bacher is the winner of the Women's Track and Field and Cross Country Academic All-America Team Member of the Year. So it's a clean sweep this year for MIT. What does that say about just the culture of excellence in the MIT track program?
Yeah, so I've been thinking about that a bit in the past couple of days, ever since I heard the news, and just think, first of all, that me being at MIT Track and Field is just every day trying to be like someone else on the team. I'm really thriving and trying to be like the others, because they just hold themselves with such a high standard, both academically and on the track. And I feel like, apart from just feeling extremely grateful and honored to be on the stage with Katie, it just kind of says a lot about how at MIT we try to balance track and academics, and apparently how we sometimes succeed, which is also extremely cool. So yeah, that just trying to do things well and enjoying the process with emphasis on the process, I would say the staple of what we try to do.
Could you talk about just how special it's been for you personally to wear those three prestigious letters, MIT, across your chest as you've competed?
Of course. I think for me, the name MIT has been some sort of a dream for the longest time. I would say up until I graduated. Everything that had MIT associated with it just seemed like something so kind of difficult to attain, or I would not say difficult, I would say desirable from my point of view. So before I started college, I thought to myself, it could be really cool if I can join. And after I joined, it could be really cool if I'll be on the team, even though I was recruited, but let's not talk about that. And it took me a long time to really internalize that, yes, I am part of this. And yes, I am actually helping out and sometimes doing well. So it just felt good to be able to give back to this program, to this thing that I looked so high up to, I would say. It's the beacon I'm trying to align myself with, both culturally and philosophically, with the mission of MIT and MIT Track.
Well, you're very humble about your accomplishments, but as we mentioned, you are a two-time national champion in the triple jump, once indoors, once outdoors. You're also a three-time NCAA national runner-up, so you've been right in the title picture your entire career. You hold the MIT records in both the long jump and the triple jump, and most notably, as a sophomore in 2019, you won the indoor triple jump national title right there in the MIT backyard in Boston, with really a lot of the MIT support system there to witness it. What was that moment like for you to win the national title, especially with so many MIT supporters on hand?
It was so much fun. That was, I would say, one of the most fun competitions I've ever participated in. Not because of winning, really. So there's this weird thing I do when I jump. I take an extremely people are driving fast out here. Anyway, I take an extremely long approach. Now, it just means that I run for a long distance before I jump. That's not really necessary, just kind of a preference I have. But I think I did this weird thing in that meet where I started running from the top of the bank of the track. And that's weird. But everybody knew I'm weird like that, and they backed me up completely. And I think that energy just carried me far enough. And I'm saying "and," but I don't think I have anything else to say. I'm just thinking that it was just the support of the people, and it always has been about the people. From the beginning to the end, just has been so cool and so much fun.
Hey, it's about results, and if it's not weird if it works, I'll tell you that much. So congratulations on having that moment. And then you've had other moments as well because you were a member of the Israeli national team. Can you tell us about that experience, what it was like for you and your future in the sport of track and field?
Of course. Yeah, I was, again, honored to be able to represent Israel in the World University Game in Italy a couple of years ago. That actually same year of that national championship that I managed to win. That was extremely cool. Just wearing that jersey that had the flag of the country on it. Similar feeling to the feeling I had wearing the MIT jersey, but a little different because in my eyes, track is not only an individual sport, but also a team sport, the way we do it here at MIT. And in that meet, I was on my own, trying to represent my country, surrounded by people from the US, Turkey, Switzerland, you name it. And the energy that I liked so much about our team just was missing to me. I felt like I was not interested in chasing that new or the next centimeter, but I was more interested in helping my team, if that makes sense. So funnily enough, it did not feel as good. It was an extreme honor to have, but it was very different in that sense. And looking forward, I'm in these days or this year, I'm recovering from a minor knee surgery. So my future in the sport is a little foggy, but I will definitely keep jumping in some capacity. So whether it is alumni meets that we have every year against the varsity team, now I'm part of the alumni, or just going to my backyard or some street and jumping, or even, doing club, but we'll see.
Well, what's not foggy is your future outside of the track. And I want to focus on some of the work that you've done outside of sport and outside of the classroom. Two of them of interest are you've been an algorithms engineer at the Indoor Robotics in Tel Aviv in your native Israel, and you've also interned as a researcher at Amazon Robotics. Could you tell us about the work you've done in these areas?
Yeah, of course. So I think some context is that growing up, I was always kind of building things, whether it was drones or just a remote controlled light switcher because my bed was too far away from the switch. I was trying to build things that were cool and also things that are somewhat helpful. So at Amazon and also at Indoor Robotics, what I was trying to do and am trying to do is creating machines that could be a little helpful to humanity. Maybe we can get packages out quickly, or maybe we can work in human environments and do tasks that are mundane or boring or dangerous even. So I think many tasks that we do as humans can be done better in one sense, and also leave the humans better off. And those humans who do the mundane tasks have other jobs that are more interesting. So that is part of kind of the high level of what I was working on and what I strive to continue working on as well.
Now, in the fall, you're heading to another prestigious academic institution, Carnegie Mellon, to study robotics. Can you tell us about what you'd like to focus on in grad school during your time in Pittsburgh?
So this is an excellent question that I'm battling with in these very days. I will be going to the robotics PhD program that, as it might sound or might not sound, is extremely broad. You can do things from agricultural robots to human language understanding robots that go in your hallways. I hope to work on robots that operate in the real world and the unstructured world, whether it is streets or orange groves, that, again, similarly to the drones I was building as a kid, just taking that sentiment of helping humanity and helping the world. It might sound funny, but really taking that to the extreme. And I'll leave it at that.
That's really, really interesting. And it'll be nice to watch to see how the work that you've done does impact the world. What do you hope to do in the future? What are you hoping that the education you've received at MIT and in the future at Carnegie Mellon will really help you do as future objectives?
So I found out that I'm really interested in research, which is similar to building things, just building things that no one has built before. It's not very different. Personally, I'm interested in figuring out how we can create our world more efficiently, if it makes sense. How can we get crops to grow more sustainably, not only in the global warming notion, but also in the economic notion that we all kind of operate on in our Western societies. I'm going to put it like that. So again, I'm being vague because I'm still figuring that out. But one day, those skills at MIT that I acquired, which are, I would classify as problem solving and being able to sit down and think about a problem for more than 5 minutes, take those skills and apply them to one of those fields and problems in a company that I lead or that I join in their very early stages. I think startups are going to be instrumental to that push. And also they're a lot of fun to work in. So something along those lines.
Your journey is absolutely fascinating, and you've obviously accomplished so much. And this is a chance for you to thank those people in your life who've not only helped you reach this national distinction of being the Academic All-America of the Year, but everything you've done academically as well. So who would you like to thank in your life?
There are way too many people. So I'm going to keep my answer to the big category strategy. So of course, first and foremost, because we're talking here in the kind of track area of my life, my coaches, both in Israel and in the US, have been incredible support, and also in leading an incredible philosophy of hard work and believing in the process that we lead. So I would like to thank all of you. I'd like to thank my family, of course, and my friends, both here in the US. I could not do it alone. I think this past year showed me how much the people matter, because I was mostly doing work in a room and only that room. And also to my professors, funnily enough. I think I was fortunate to take some acting classes that taught me how to be a human, and then also technical classes that taught me how not to be a human. And I think that combination helped me grow and be more successful. So just a huge thank you to all those individuals and humans that I did not name, but you know who you are.
Fascinating story you have, that is for sure. Congratulations to Yorai Shaoul of MIT. He is your 2020-2021 CoSIDA NCAA Division III Men's Track and Field and Cross Country Academic All-American of the Year. Congratulations.
Thank you.